Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to do, as you guys could see by the thumbnail, Battlefront 2 hero versus villain maps. And today we're going to start ranking all of them. Alright, so with number 1, we're going to do one of the best maps. We're just going to do it alphabetically. Crate. Now this was one of the last maps added to the game before its cancellation back almost a year ago now. And it's really beautiful, one of the best maps in the game. But the problem with it, it's nothing unique, really. There's no cliffs or nothing like that. Nothing like on Death Star or especially Naboo. Where's Naboo? Yeah, Naboo's over here. So for that, I'm going to only put it A tier. Geonosis used to be, if you were playing on Galactic Assault and you were the clones, when you first spawned in, that's where Geonosis was. And it's not a lot to it, to be honest. It has a pretty good hill. But then again, it's mostly out of rocks, and there's nothing really great about it. I'd put that B tier, middle of the road. Now let's see. We got Kessel. This is Kessel from the Han Solo season back in 2018. Nothing amazing to it. Definitely, I feel like it's one of the more played game modes on it, because I definitely see that a lot more than like I see a Jakku or maybe even a Hoth or an Aegon Kloss. So because of that, I feel like it's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not good. Alright, we got Yavin 4. This was also one of the changes back in the final years. It used to be on that first phase of Galactic Assault, but now it's on the third phase. And I actually like the third phase better, and because of that, I'm going to put it B tier. Nothing terrible. Now this map, Tatooine, had the potential to be very, very good. Like you could be fighting at Luke's home, but you're fighting in Mos Eisley, and I don't really get that experience that much because you're not fighting in any real cantinas. I mean, you are fighting in one, but it's not really that cool. And I felt like it could definitely have had a lot more stuff to it instead of just like what it is now. So with that, I'm gonna put it C tier. Aegon Kloss, yeah. I feel very. It's a tight spot, which it doesn't need to be tight for, and because of that, I'm putting that F tier. Now Jakku, it's Jakku. There we go. Death Star 2. Alright, this I feel like I have to explain more of. And Death Star 2 it's not a bad map. Alright, it's not a crate level map. So I'm gonna put it here. It has some good stuff, has a nice fall off cliff, but there's no Death Star laser, right? There's no iconic scenes. Like imagine if you're fighting in the Emperor's throne room. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's no Emperor's throne room. So yeah, C tier. Felucia, great map. Not better than Crate, but it's still great. Definitely one of the most unique planets in the game with all that like life forms and stuff like that. Like you see like those blue plants, those are really cool to look at. And there's actually a huge dead beast in the game. Actually, no, now that I'm thinking about that, there's a huge dead beast in the map, but you have to look very closely because it blends in with the rocks, and that's pretty cool. And it has this like swampy thing, but it's one of those sarlaccs. So if you go into the swamp, you die, and I really like that. Endor, I feel like it's better than Death Star, but I just rated Death Star a little lower because it's no Emperor's Room. That would have been pretty cool. I feel like this is the average map right here. Nothing great about it, but there's nothing terrible about it either. So this is Endor with the ATS, AT-AT, and it's nothing terrible to be honest, but it's nothing great. So here we go. This is the Separatists map. I feel like this is the second best map out of all the ships. Not including Naboo, because that's not in outer space. But yeah. But then again, the ship maps are pretty terrible. But they had nice diversity, so I'm gonna put it maybe like C tier. Nothing great. And now oh yeah, this is Kashyyyk. Alright, so Kashyyyk, oh my god, dude, this is so terrible. Like, if you don't have a force push ability, then I would never play with Kashyyyk, right? This is, like, one of the most hard maps to play. Difficult. You have a lot of people camp, and it's just overall not a fun time. But I'm not going to put it that bad. I'd put it, like, C tier. Jabba's Palace, and you're gonna see a trend here. I like the 2015 maps, and Jabba's Palace was pretty good. I don't think they absolutely nailed what it was going about, but yeah. Anytime I see a Jabba's Palace, I'm always like, yeah, I'll jump in that little hole in the middle, and then just have a big fight down there. It looks like Luke Skywalker, and I feel like that's one of the only places that actually took direct part from the movies into there into the video games. Like I wanted a throne room from Death Star 2. I don't know if you guys understand it that bad. If it had Death Star 2 Emperor's throne room, it would have been S tier, right? Amazing. Naboo's map, now that I'm gonna get changing subjects now, Naboo's map, it's pretty good. I feel like this is the other one that shows directly from the movie, and it really showed from that, and I really liked it. That Darth Maul room, I wish was available, where Qui-Gon Jinn dies and Darth Maul gets chopped in half. If it was that, it would have been better than Felucia, but it doesn't. Now, let me get to explaining. It looks really good. You go into the like hyper engine room or whatever, the energy room with those purple things shooting upwards and pink. Or I don't know. I guess I'm colorblind now, but it's pink, right? It looks really cool. Yeah. So you would have like these like tight strips of walkways, and you had to stay behind them. And like a lightsaber character would have to defend that shooter character, or else that shooter character is gonna get knocked off by a Maul in an instant. So yeah, a lot of good memories with this map, and that's why it's that high. Let's go with Taco Donna. Taco don't. None untouchable, but not as bad as Ajon Kloss or Jakku. Yeah, so a lot of Boba Fett mains here, and Boba Fett, you just jump onto the castle, and it's one of the only maps I feel like, maybe other than Tatooine, where Boba Fett's untouchable, and maybe even Endor. Endor has those like little high hanger spots. Yeah, but not a good experience, and if you have terrible teamwork, they just run into the center and die, and it's not fun for anyone. This is the other ship map out of, I think, three. There's two more. There should be two more at least. No, I think I already rated them. Never mind. So yeah, the ship map for the First Order. It's actually not bad. It's pretty colorful. Kind of like colorful Felucia, but not quality. And because of that, I'm only going to rate it A tier. Now let me explain. It's like, oh, you rated Geonosis lower than this map? Well, this map has fall damage. There's a lot of spots where you can die, and that's why I like Naboo. Because if you're not careful and you just run right in, you can die. But if you're playing well, you can have a good time playing as a shooter character too, which I don't feel like Naboo really has that much, because Naboo split off into two maps, well, two really different zones. You have the hangar, and then you have the energy room, but they're all both in the same map, and I feel like it works out for both sides. But for this, they're all in one area, and a shooter character, if he's good or she's good, they can pull off a lot of good shots, and I don't feel like that's fair. All right, so Camino, I think, is it better than Felucia? Is it worse than Felucia? I feel like it's better. One of the best maps in the game, especially like one of the carrier maps for Galactic Assault, and this takes place on phase 2 of the game. And oh my god, it looks so good, especially with that. I forget, it looks like that big sloth type of character, but it goes right on the ship, or right on the platform, and has a great combination. Shooter characters can do fine, right? If you're on the platforms, but if you want to fight your 1v1s, there's definitely a lot of space and a lot of time to fight your 1v1s, and you can get great clips on it. And I may just show a couple clips later this month on it. And I feel like it's one of the best. Maybe some of these, maybe Scarif, maybe Bespin's a little better, but we'll see. Starkiller base, nope, not good. There's no way to die for a force push, and shooter characters just go galore on that map, and I honestly don't feel like it's that fun. There's some pits that are just cut off from the Galactic Assault or even co-op game mode, and I don't like that. I really felt like if you're gonna like let the map show off, give off all the map. Don't just give off a section of that section, and I don't like it because of that. Now, this is Scarif from 2015. It's like, oh, but this is Battlefront 2. How's a game from 2015? Why isn't this on Battlefront 1? Now, let me explain. This map was ported over from Battlefront 2015 and had some minor changes that didn't have any changes from the Tatooine map on Jabba's Palace and the Bespin map on Imperial Office. And why wouldn't they just do the carbonite chamber too. That would have been great. All you had to do is just port it over. But anyways, yeah, this map, I always wanted to know what's inside that little black box, and now you do. And because of that, it looks gorgeous, and I never get to play it at sometimes. Well, I never get to play it. I've only played it like 4 or 5 times, but it's one of the best maps, and I'm like, why won't the game give me this map on my feed? And it doesn't, because it's trash. Alright, anyways, last 2 ship maps. This is on the Resistance ship map, and talk about not having a good ship map, but it's better than the other ship map. Where is the other ship map? Actually, no, it's not better than that ship map. So we will have it, I would say here. Yeah, it's not great. I wouldn't touch it. I see it's like, oh, I'm gonna go on Tatooine, right? It's like, oh, no, no, you're not going on Tatooine. You're going on the space over Tatooine. And I'm like, all right. What is this trash? Like, oh, I'm gonna go on Naboo, right? You are gonna go on the shuttle over Naboo. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go on Crate. You're fighting over Crate. And at that point, it just gets furious, because why don't they just tell me I'm in the spaceship for the Resistance, or I'm in the spaceship for the First Order? And that kind of really messes up the groove of the game, because I don't know what characters I'm pressing. Because I don't know if I'm in the space, or I don't know if I'm in the actual map itself. Now, this one's not bad. I feel like it's like exactly similar of the droid ship, but it's the Republic ship. Nothing really to say about it. It does have kill damage, though. And it does, but it's just closed in one area. It's not a lot of open space, but you can get a couple good kill streaks. So yeah, it's not terrible. Now here we go. We got Hoth. Talk what could have been, right? Battlefront 2015, Hoth was the map to play. Battlefront 2017, Hoth was not the map to play. But it's not that bad. I would say it's like F tier, high F tier, but not great F tier. And here we go. The last map from 2015 and the last map from 2017. Bespin, right? Administrator's Palace. I'd rather have Carbonite Chambers, but I'm going to take one. I'm going to take it, obviously. And I really like this map. Now, is it A tier or is it S tier? I'm not going to say it's B or C or F tier. I'm not going to mess with you guys like that. But I would say it's here, right? I feel like this is a good assessment for this. Camino's obviously the highest. If you ever played the game, Camino's the one you want. And then Starkiller Base is the one you don't want. Actually, I don't feel like that's fair. Jakku's the one you don't want. Right? So this is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully my mic's loud enough for you guys to hear. And if you have any comments saying, oh, Bespin should be higher, or oh, Death Star 2 should be higher, I would agree. Maybe Death Star, just because I'm mad that it doesn't have the Palpatine throne room, should still be higher than Kessel, right? And I can change my mind easily if you just give me some good evidence. Like, oh, well, not evidence, just some good reasoning. And that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys liked, shared, and subscribed. We have reached 21 subscribers. Very exciting for me right now. And we have 160 views plus on that Battlefront 2 heroes and villains tier list. So I would hopefully this gets a lot of views, and hopefully you guys liked it. And goodbye.